Breakdown.
Hey everyone, Outnumbered fights in World vs. World are some of the most intense and rewarding experiences in Guild Wars 2. In this video, we'll break down real scenarios where smart strategy, positioning, and teamwork made all the difference. Or didn't. Let's jump in and see how it all unfolded. In this first clip, we're outnumbered in a Zerg v Zerg situation, but we hold our ground through solid positioning and effective use of this choke point. Our squad's boons and cleanses were on point, and we pressured the enemy by preventing them from reviving their downed teammates. As the fight went on and we lost support, we eventually ran out of steam and were overwhelmed. The key takeaway: stick together, manage your cooldowns efficiently, and always use the terrain to your advantage in a large-scale engagement like this. Here's another outnumbered scenario, this time at Firekeep. The key here is positioning. We cornered the enemy while sticking together in areas where they couldn't engage us effectively. Staying just outside of enemy wells and pressuring them to stay in their corner makes it much more difficult for them to break through. Dealing damage is relatively safe as I used self-stability and made calculated movements, avoiding enemy wells while staying ready to regroup with allies. The lesson here? Don't overcommit. Take calculated risks, but always prioritize dodging dangerous AoE and regrouping to stay alive if possible. This fight starts with us defending our tower from blue. We held strong initially, but things got tricky as our condition cleanse seemed low. Personally, I could have avoided more AoE and stayed better positioned within range of my supports. When you walk through unnecessary wells, you drain your team's resources, impacting both overall healing and cleanses. The key here is balancing your position. Stay within 240 to 400 range of your supports while being mindful of enemy wells and AoE. If you can avoid the AoE and still stay in range of supports, it's worth doing. Avoiding damage when possible helps your team's overall support economy and keeps you alive longer. Sometimes, calculated risks pay off. In this clip, we're carefully avoiding blue's AoEs, waiting for the right moment. I use my hammer at range to clear barrier and Aegis. Then once I see the enemy wells are light and a safe gap opens up, I switch to Greatsword and leap in ahead of my commander. My engage breaks their defenses and staggers them, causing their Zerg to collapse. It was risky, but my timing was on point and I provided my own stability on the engage. The key takeaway here: Don't just take risks, make sure they're calculated. Back at our garrison, the ground is covered in AoE when I arrive, and I'm hesitant to commit into melee, but after assessing our squad's composition and seeing we have plenty of cleanses, I determine I can safely switch to melee once some wells clear. I activate Inspiring Reinforcements and execute a clean melee burst combo. With the squad support in mind, I focus on dealing melee damage knowing conditions are under control. Always calculate your strategy based on your squad's strengths. Sometimes that means committing to melee, but other times it's smarter to pressure at range instead. Now, let's take a look at a 1v3 situation as a roamer, where I'm up against a willbender, an engineer, and a mesmer. Right from the start, I use Shiro's mobility to my advantage, kiting them while avoiding their burst. By staying mobile and using the terrain, I managed to separate them, picking them off one by one. Good positioning allowed me to dodge key abilities, giving me the time I need to regain control of the fight. When you're outnumbered, mobility and positioning are your best friends. Stay elusive, control the fight pace, and take advantage of opportunities to separate and eliminate targets. And that wraps up our breakdown of outnumbered fights in World v World. From positioning to cooldown management and knowing when to take risks, every scenario has its lesson. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Guild Wars 2 content, and let me know in the comments what you want to see or learn about next. See you on the battlefield!